Oh, Eva's here and Linda so far. Let's see how many more will show up today.
If you're
Either
gonna keep
teach.
choosing such a difficult pictures, no one's gonna come.
Right. You scared us all off.
Yep.
This is difficult.
They all are.
Okay. Yeah. I know. We'll
But
try. I try to make it
Yeah, the
simpler.
last week I think I scraped 5 times already.
You've been doing gorgeous stuff, Ava, though. Really
No.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, Gabe. You've been doing well. Don't get cocky though, right?
No, the moment I feel a slightly better, there is a sheep coming along.
That's usually it, right?
And you got me so excited. Oh, sails, etc. Oh, I said great boats. And I opened the picture. They're boats, but where is the water?
Oh, sorry about that. A little dry docking going on, huh? There's water right behind them.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is.
there's water right here. There's water right there. Sky, blue sky.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. Sometimes when you're picking out things, you go, "Yeah, this could be fun," and then you look at it again later after you picked it, and you go, "Oh, well, maybe this one isn't so much fun." Oh well, we'll try and see what we can do.
I'm going to be just taking notes tonight.
Yeah. Bailing out that quick. Everybody's just funny how everybody's taking notes in the other room all the time.
I'm right here. Hey, Lisa's here.
Lisa's here. At least Lisa will paint, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, because it's so easy.
See, Lisa knows what I'm talking about.
I do. I sure do.
Too easy. It's just like it's two ellipticals, little things, It's really nothing too much to it. It's just a flat background, flat ground, flat water, and then you got some boats, a couple boat shapes. No sails. Simple stuff. Well, if not, we'll figure out a way to get all the straight things done. That's probably toughest thing gonna be on this thing is the straight thing. So let's see what time we got here if we start up here. Oh, we got a couple more minutes. So we got a couple people showing up, so we won't go too deep. Last week, yes, we did do a ram, and got an animal out of the way. It's okay. It still needs some work. I just, got as far as I could, and then it just, I needed to get away from it. So, the face is okay. Some of the fur and stuff just needs a little bit more weight to it. And these guys, I put them in pretty quickly, just trying to basically mark where they're going to go next time the some of these grasses and stuff. So I still have grasses to put in and some other things, and hopefully that'll save. We got to change the color, tone value of that background here too. It's just a little warm. It needs to be cooler. I kept thinking it was cooler when I kept putting it in, but it just never really happened. They kind of just kept staying warm the whole time. A lot of yellow in it. But some touches up to do, and we'll be there on this one. I thought it was going to be fun. Okay, now for the easy one. Come on, I gave the Saturday morning guys, I gave them a dog to paint. You guys, lucky to get that, right? You guys didn't want to do that.
There were some gorgeous ones from that.
People did some good stuff, yeah.
Really beautiful.
A few of them went their own way on me too. I can't believe that.
How dare they?
I know. They just figure they can change the colors all they want. They did. But yeah, but today we will be taking on this little boat scene, a little shipyard action. Well, right off the river there. It could be the river. It could be a harbor there, really. I figured, boats are always kind of fun to paint. I probably should have picked out a better one, but hey, we're going with it. It's too late now. Eva. There you go. We're bringing it up. This is what you guys are all crying about right now. There. See, oh, you're just going to be background noise the whole night.
I'm not going to be even busy painting. I'm just going to razz you all night.
Yeah. Why'd you pick this again? I have no idea. When I saw it, I think it was the lighting on the boats back in here. I just saw that and I said, "Oh, that is so cool! I love that." That's one of the little things that I like. That you go, "Oh, that's worth painting because of one little spot of light." You go,
all those uprights and everything. Oh my gosh, down at the bottom. Gee,
there's 2 minutes. I'm gonna put those into at the end, drop them in with a palette knife with the right color of kind of a blue gray, and just slap, and go right through and do them all.
Okay.
They'll be done in no time. They'll be done nothing. You hit them with a knife or a brush at the end. You just touch them and they just kind of go bleep. They transform. That's what you do. They bleep. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's my secret about this is not even thinking about any of this stuff at all till the end. That stuff is just knife work. You just drop it in with the edge of a knife, drop it in, drop. Even these things, everything here, everything going vertical, all the things, everything is just little knife work or erasers and things like that. They're nothing major. The hardest thing is this blue back here, right? Painting that blue back in. And it's nice value. It really has a gradation until it's sunrise where, the sun is coming up and it's right at the horizon. There's a lot of light, a lot of yellow oranges. And then you got the darker sky moving away. So, this is like the angle. We're going to have to gradate it down like that at an angle instead of just straight up and down. Should be fun. The water is back in here. It is a couple, it's a couple variations darker than the at least horizon, but the background back there. We'll talk about that when we get to the thing. But there is water in there, Eva. Like what I was talking about earlier is I like the light on the boats. I think that's really probably the only big key for me is just that light and the light on these guys where they stand out. I thought those were really be kind of interesting to paint. At least for me. Black and white version, tell you about the real value changes and stuff in this. Yeah, this, this light down in here only goes down. 1 second here. The light down in the lower part is light as it looks. It's really nothing more than a 4 at the most. Might even be a 5. The darkness up here is closer to a 7, but most of it's really pretty much a 6 area, this whole area here. So you're going to have one really big area of blue-green to make up, and then you got, a little bit darker top, and then you got to lighten it up from there to here. You got to lighten up pretty quickly from here to there. So that's shouldn't take long. That should be a pretty easy mix. While I'm doing that, I'll probably even put in a lot of the water at the same time, because it's going to probably come from way up here area. It's going to reflect down, so it should be right around there. Probably pretty dark version of it. This foreground too is pretty fun because it has a mix of warms and cools, but the values are all really so tight. It'd be read as one gray, really read as a flat gray, and I had the value. It's right there at 7. So basic 7. So, those cools and warms will just have to be really mixed up pretty nice, pretty tight. Okay. And then the shadow on the boat, a little different on each one. This one's a little lighter over here. This guy just went like a half step, a little darker. He probably closer to an 8, and this guy's probably closer to a 7. And this guy is also darker underneath. He is red and he is blue. The blue just isn't quite as dark as that red, so it really you can tell that value wise it's going to still going to be close to an 8, maybe in the 9s for the other one. So that's about it. Everything else is pretty standard. One of the few things I think I kind of stumbled across was these values here. Though at least I saw them in color. Some of the sails rolled up here, and they're the same value as the value of the highlight, almost, well, not the highlight, but the light on the boat there. So, and that is probably right around 3s, probably 3-4-ish. So that's where to be. Okay. Back to the color version. Okay. Yeah, color, it's a lot of blues. A little different for us because I'm, a lot of green I've been hitting you guys with all semester. A lot of phthalo green mixes and stuff. So today we're going to be going a little closer towards the blue side. As you can tell on here, the boats, riggings and stuff, they're in for repair. There's a good, you can see the rust on this guy. And Lisa, you don't have to paint every spot of that rust. Okay, you can paint. Don't even have to paint if you don't want to, Lisa.
Okay.
Okay. And the rigging, but I'm going to count all those ropes for you. So, okay. Yeah. So, a little closer on here, you can start to see, some of the boat up there. See, it could have been a lot worse. We had all the boats to see up there. This one, nothing but the front, right? You don't even see anything. That's easy. You don't have windows. You don't have the tops. You don't have people. You don't have a dog. You have nothing. So quit whining. on me about this.
Every man in the world is going to love this painting. We should be able to sell it, right?
That's the whole idea. Is I'm trying to give you guys sellable items. And if we can pay for this class, and you can keep coming back. That's what I'm thinking. I think it was kind of interesting. I think it's kind of, has some. It's an everyday scene. A lot of people see it. People who live on a boat, or by the harbor. Not as normal people. Anyway, that's what I have planned for you guys. And let's see what we can do, mixing up some colors. Any questions? Oh, good.
No question, but kind of like almost question. When you are mixing the colors, can you kind of tell us which area you would like to
put it in?
Yeah, because even when I follow with your, my colors are completely different. And after that, what the heck am I going to do with them?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think you've been doing really well, so I'm not going to help you at all. But yeah, thanks for the question.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, anytime. No, Eva, I'll try to. Just our ask. You've been doing so well, so yes. Just go on. Let's finish this up. Okay, so here we go.
It's Sharon. I just wanted to say hello and check in. I'm going to be watching tonight.
Oh, another watcher.
Take a number. Take a number.
Oh, really?
Is anybody painting tonight, or am I just only one?
Well, I guess I am, but it's not going to be good.
Okay,
I'm going to try.
Lisa and Lynette.
Well, I scraped my sheep off. The whole body. I couldn't get his hair to curl.
Oh.
So I've got to watch the video again.
Only
yeah,
once?
how I curled that hair. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you.
Okay, thank you. Eva's here too. So okay, so we just got a few people here. Just well. All right, I will slow down for Eva so she can know where I'm putting colors. Here's the basic colors, all the colors again, but let's see what we do here. We have titanium white. We got cad yellow light, cad red light. Get a little mess up here. Cad orange. This is ochre. This is pale ochre. This is oxide red light. Alizarin crimson here. Cobalt blue hue. Just cleaning up as I go. Phthalo green. And this is transparent oxide red back up there. I don't know if you can even see. You can barely see this. This is just glass of some cad red medium up there. I'll let you know if we have to use it. I guess yeah, I found the phthalo green. I was looking for that. Where the heck did that come from? I have no idea. Anyway, big brushes are going to be really great for doing in the background quickly and getting in some nice strokes without, making too much of a mess. So synthetics will be a really good call for the day. You do, there will probably be some use for some, bristle brushes, but I'm going to be going pretty much. I think most of the work can be done with synthetics tonight. So putting those out here over here. And colors. Got our colors out. Let's get you guys all the way off here. Pull up my All right. This is just a little darker than what my screen says, which is going to be good because I'd rather go with my screen. I think it's a little bit, this is a little dead value wise. So, all right. Blues, purples. We're going to be using a lot of blues and purples today. So we're going to mix up those. Start off with blue, cobalt blue hue here. I'll mix up some alizarin with it. This would be just like black. If I was using, whenever I paint, since you don't use black, I don't use black. I use purples, and blues, and reds in place of those guys. So they can be much more effective. So this is on the blue side, alizarin, crimson, and blue. This is sort of on the red side. I can take it farther, not much farther. That'll be interesting. That might, that's what I'm thinking, might go get it in the sky and some areas here. Okay, more blue. This is my color today. I will try not to even use phthalo green. I'm not going to try hard, but hey, I'm going to try. So, cobalt. I'm using cobalt and oxide red light now. This will make a beautiful little blue grays. I think I can, with enough white, these colors can really get down below and do all the work down here at the very base of on the ground there.
Or Venetian, right?
Or Venetian, yes. If you don't have oxide red light, you can use Venetian, you can use Terra Rosa. Those all work pretty similar. So that is the red. That's interesting. So those, and we're going to need a couple more base colors here. I want to have a few things to play with at the end and some other things. So we're still going to go blue. And I'm going to go with some transparent oxide, or burnt sienna, or transparent oxide, whichever you have. This just will make a nice little brown gray. One on the warm side, one on the blue side. I might even leave some of that, I think that color can be that oxide mixed with yellow. That's our next color, so hold on. Okay. So those are darks up there, I think, for most of it. I'm gonna need a few other things here. Those are my darks. I need some lights, midtones, more things. Look for colors, stuff like that right now. Especially colors almost. So I'm going to go with transparent oxide or burnt sienna for you guys, and cad yellow. I'm looking for this area here, going into some of these brighter areas in the sun, like probably. Usually I mix these up a little bit later, but I thought I'd get them in now. I think there's a few other spots I want to put them in. So, okay. So really, now it just really is kind of like some of the boat colors and stuff I need to make up. The blue, needs to be figured out. I don't really have anything, too mixed with it. Except for the green. I'm gonna put a little phthalo green, even though I said it's not phthalo green. It's really just a tinting green now. It's not here to take over. I'm just going to put a little bit in each one. So that's the blue boat. The red boat, I'm going to go with alizarin and oxide red light, or Venetian, or things. Just it's going to make this kind of a goofy kind of a little more red. I think I'm just going to go for the one color. I'm not going to go both sides on this one because it's only one spot. That's pretty close to it. It needs to go a little darker. I'm adding just a touch of blue to it too. So it's almost like my alizarin up here. This is like the mid-tone for that boat right down in here. This will be the dark version of it. I'll put this in first and I'll put that in. And then I'm going to bring in some cad red into a piece of this and get the rest of the boat down there. Get all the sunny stuff. Could be brighter. It just we're going to keep it right there. Maybe cad orange. Not going bright enough. There we go. That's going to work. Yep, there we go. A little cad red and cad orange in that last mix here, coming down from that one. I'll go through all these colors again. Some of these colors here are going to be really nice. Going to be it's a little more intermixing going on at the end here. I think that's about it. I'm going to keep it kind of simple. So let's split these piles. See, this is going to be simple, and you guys no one wanted to paint it. Maybe too simple. Maybe I just went too simple. That's the whole thing. Everybody said, this is too simple. I'm sure that's probably what you guys said. You opened it up and said, yeah. Okay. I could go more red. Too close. It's a little too close to each other. Yeah, same with that, but it's gonna be hard. And let's see what happens when we get a little bit farther down here. Now these guys, I'm hoping they're gonna get a little bit of highlights going on other places. These guys are really close together. Too close together. I didn't even paint. That's not enough to do the sky. Gonna mix that a little bit more. Blue and green. I was thinking when I start grabbing color. All right. Back up here. These are the purples and stuff. Value wise, I want to go for is basically right around 7, I would say. So 7 here. Well, a lot of white. This is blue and alizarin. Wow. Oh, for sure that was too much. There we go. Let me see up here. This is really kind of dark yet.
Where's that going to go, Jim?
Who knows? Who knows? Sky, I was thinking, I'm going to get it up in the sky. I mean, I was thinking around in here in the boats underneath. Definitely in anywhere in the painting that is cool. There's a cool area, shadows, anything like that. It can fit. I definitely, you can see it. You can see it in over here in the shadow on the boat and some of the blues. It might be a little bit more forced, and it's probably going to be closer to this color. This color is pretty much going to do most of the work on that boat. I'm just going to leave this one a little darker than that one. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is going to go on the boat. Definitely going to go on some of the boat. A little cool though, so it's probably going to have to get overrun by some of these warmer blues with greens in them, but that should be a nice thing. All right, now oxide and blue, oxide light and blue. Definitely, like I said, I saw it, yes, in the ground. It needs to be quite a bit lighter, but that's where I saw it. Yeah, that's it right there. But that is really, in fact, the warm shadow. Oops. Underneath there. Okay. So I'll need that color here next to it to lighten up a little bit more, a piece of it. Yeah. Go in the shadow area. Yeah. I need it for some of the shadow on the boat. I also need it on the shadow on the ground. Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be fun there. Let's see what this one is. This is the red side of that. There's a few spots this could go, but not many. Might end up being in the mass. Little things, little lines. It could be end up being, it could be light on posts and things like that too at the end. This is transparent oxide in blue. This is on the oxide side. Very brown. Definitely could be some wooden posts or some of this little iron, any of these posts come sticking up and stuff. Definitely could find it in a few spots here yet. I was kind of hedging my bet on it because of I was thinking maybe it might not have having to be in the ground there. So I'm going to richen this one up a little bit by putting in some more transparent oxide into it to get it to be a little different than that. maybe I could lighten this up. Maybe when this lightens up one more step, maybe I can find a spot for it. Oops, can I get that out of there? I'm gonna go for the sky first before I go my yellows. Get the base color. This is just blue, a little bit of phthalo green. Just a hair of it. Yeah, it is way too warm. I'll put some alizarin back into it. Yeah, that's better. That phthalo green kind of just grays everything out though a little bit. That was not where I want to be. Okay, that's not better. That's alizarin. I added a lot of alizarin, in fact, into this. This is the color I was just saying a second ago. I need to make more of it because it's supposed to take care of the sky. And of course. All right, so that's a little bit of it. Now I got to get a little bit more on the blue side. I really had to build up some paint just to get rid of the phthalo side. That's better. That's a lot better. And we still more on the blue side. That's getting better. This is getting closer to the ground. Just gets a little too, just a hair too white. And then I got this one over here. Definitely should not even come close to anything, but maybe I can use it for the water. No, I can't. All right. Yeah, I know. You got to try, you know. Base got to do the same thing. I'm going to leave it on the bluer side for the water. It'll work. All right. Leave everything off. Really thought it was going to work there. But some of that phthalo green and blue, though, at the lower spot quadrant down in here, and you can see the change when it changes to yellow at the horizon there. There's just that little hint of it. So here we go. Some of these yellows are going to be for this guy. Highlights. That's where this was going to go. Probably has to go a little higher than that even. But then we had some mid values that are going to go in over here. These yellow oranges, and they are pretty dark. In fact, I mean, really, they are probably around 5. These guys are just a little darker than that. Yeah, just a little bit more out of them. Looks like there's a little bit of cat orange in them. Yeah. Take a piece of it, just add some lot enough white. Just lighten it up. That's getting there. It's still Kind of get way up here. Yeah, that's about it. Just feels a little weak. It's a little washed out when you had so much white. Okay, definitely. Okay, that's not bad. I can get some of the boat out of these colors here. Definitely. Let's see what happens here. We got some reds over here. These guys are pretty much right, but I want to take this red here and add some white to it because I think I'm going to get the side of the boat. I'm going to get that color. You know, I think I'm going to get, if I lighten it up enough, I think I'm going to get this color here. Might be a little cooler on my screen. Let me see. It's close. It's probably going to have to have some yellow in it. Not that much.
So what are you mixing? Sorry, Jim.
I am mixing the back boat color here, back in here.
Okay.
I find it, it's just a little cooler than this photo. This photo, pretty much everything went orange. And really, this back end has a little red into it, a little pinkish to it, and to the front of the boat too, in fact. So that's how I'm going to have to try and do is like say, this is the white I'm using basically. This is my white for that boat. You know, because of the sun, it's going to be this color. So if I mix blue, a little coolness with this, let me mix up just a little bit more of that. And say, do that same thing I was just saying. This was my white, even though it's, to get into these shadows, you're going to have put in purples and blues and stuff. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's a combination. Yeah, it's on the blue side. Blue purple. Really close. Not bad. Yes. Yes, a hair of phthalo green in it. Bring it out instead of keep pumping it up. Really close. Really keep going. One step more. See, I'm mixing colors and really mixing to get that. Because I think because this thing right here, this color here is for this back boat. But the front boat, I think I can get a little bit quicker by using these two and just lightening it up a little bit with this and warming it up. This color could be front boat, and it is. So that's pretty simple.
What is that last one, Jim? I missed it.
Yeah, it is a mix of this alizarin and oxide red light mix here with white, and just a little bit of, this one has just a little bit of cat orange in it. I use that as my white, basically, of the boat, right? That's basically the boat background here. And then use that and then made the shadow from that. And so I'm going to get something that works with it. And so this is just a little bit cooler. Keep changing. I got to make sure it stands out bluer. So I just added blue to it. And this one, I just added just a little bit more of the sun to it and graded it out just enough more and kind of got the front edge, the front boat shadow. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I was working on. All that work for just a few little payoff spots. And that's it. These yellows, oh man, I didn't do much with them, did I? But I do need a couple extra special colors at the end of this to do this. Get a few highlights. And one would be probably is going to be, yellow, cad yellow and white for a highlight. Yes, a touch more. And a pink one. Might get out of this guy. Take this red and it's pink. I just need a pink white that's same value as the yellow. There we go. And then I just need a blue one. And these guys together will make very cool. All right. I'll go through the colors again. A little weird, a little different. We start off with blue and alizarin. And this is on the alizarin side. This is on the blue side. Definitely when I added a little bit more white, I was looking at the ground, some of the shadows in the ground. So on this was going to come into these shadows. This is the warmer. This is oxide red light and blue. This is on the blue side. This is on the red side. This is pretty much the ground color I was going to go with. These two are going to work a little bit together. But then these guys, this is going to be the shadow color. This is also going to go in the front edge of the boat underneath here and stuff too. This color just basically is going to go into some of these areas here, maybe a few spots here and there. Nothing too much. I don't think these transparent oxides and blue here. I don't think they're going to go too far. Now I want transparent oxide and yellow, which is like burnt sienna. So you can see it has a really rich tone. Going to be great for doing like trees and stuff with fall trees. This one, I probably should have just touched more red into it because it really didn't do much. I had a little tad red to it. Separate it out a little bit. So this is oxide red and transparent oxide red and yellow with just a little bit of white, a little bit more white, a little bit more. This one came down here. I don't think I'd put any white in that one at all. But I got enough yellow on that. I can't do that. Got my knives all bloody up there. Okay. Then I went through the fiasco of doing the sky here. I put in here this blue and a little phthalo green. It's probably going to end up in the boat more than anywhere else. I thought it was going to be in the sky. I'd get it in the sky. But then looking at the sky, it got a little bit cooler and more blue. And then it got to the highlights and then it got a little, so it's a little bit more blue. And I might even have to add more blue to it. Down here, I decided to do the red on the boat. And I started off with alizarin and oxide red together. Added just a touch of blue to it, trying to get a little bit darker. I might still have to do that. And then I lightened it up with some cad red light. Took a piece of it and I lightened it up with cad red light. Then I was working on the back end of the boat, trying to get the lights on the boat and things. And I came up with this kind of oxide. This is came from this one. It's oxide red and alizarin together with white. I think I added just a little orange to it. Probably could have just went with that color. I bet you could have just went with this one and made the same thing. We'll see. We'll see if I have to mix it up. But I use that like as white, knowing that the shadow that's going to go on it's got to be cool. So I just took that color and added blue to it, and came up with this purple. And that's pretty close to what I need. So I'm going to be using this purple with a couple variations of cools and warms over here too, and should do it all right. But the front boat, since it's closer, is a little bit lighter in the shadow. So I just added a little more phthalo, a little more of the light boat to it. Should do it. And then the last of these especially colors for the highlights on the boat. When you get to these bright whites and yellows, they're really going to find the yellow on the outside, pink in the middle, with a blue in the very middle. That's what they are. That's what you pay for this class. That's why you come to this class, is that kind of information. You're not going to get it anywhere else. No one else gives that stuff away for free. Oh, you guys hard to please tonight. Okay, here we go. Any questions on the colors?
Mine always look a little different than yours, but some of them are close.
Well, that's what we want. That's all we shoot for is close, right?
Yeah.
Just like hand grenades. That's all you got. Just like hand grenades. You just got to get close. All right. Let's get this puppy going. I'm going to bring it in as close as I can. Can't guarantee anything here. You slide it over and try to at least keep the picture in there. All right. I'm going to tone my canvas with red probably. Oxide red probably light or something. I would say would be a good one. A lot less warm than the other one. Could go with a alizarin, but I think that's too sweet. That'd be tough to get out of the painting. A little too strong. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Going to start off with some, like I said, oxide red. Regular oxide red with just a little bit of oil. I would say if I was, for you guys to, this little angle here on the ground, if you can get a little steeper, it'd be good too.
So your base is like a Venetian red or the transparent one?
Venetian red.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And everything's pretty much there. It is drawn in, done. Jeez. I know you guys complain about. I said I had nothing to complain about. I'm just going to tone this out a little bit. And get a little bit more oil on my brush. I want to get some of this color out here. I got some couple pretty big spots of paint in my brush here, as you can see at the bottom there. Not a good grab. So I'm just going to tone it here and then lighten it up Again, working this way a little bit more gradient towards the top right of the painting.
I see you already made your third line, or is that 25% line?
This line?
Yeah.
It's right about 20%. Yeah, it's like pretty low, isn't it? Yeah, this was going to be the right there. That is the horizon. That is basically what the. I'm not even. I see ships back there. Are a couple of ships back there. Don't worry about them. They are nothing more than a mark, a little mark on the back there. If you do it with the right value color, you should be fine. You shouldn't have to work too hard. Just want to get rid of this white a little bit better. Okay, good enough. Now figuring out getting these two to fit in here, right? Well, this guy, if you go halfway, you got a halfway mark. I would say this front boat, really close to being right in the middle of halfway its tip. So going on up, it's about 3/4. So yeah, right about here is pretty good. I'm just going to leave it a couple inch and a half off the back end. Don't have to be perfect. I don't know anybody. I don't know the guy who owns this boat. So it's almost a teardrop. Shaky teardrop, but it's a teardrop. And the back end here, there's a lot of stuff happening. Boat, you know, down here, it's on top of some wooden boxes right here, things like that, So I expect them all to be in there. All right, the next boat really good. It does. You can just see where it comes. It comes really close to being underneath here. Basically, if you follow this bottom line here, just went straight up, kept going here, that would be right where this boat is, except for not tucked in quite that much. And that one is just more of an oval. I'm going to make it stop a little bit more earlier on this side than back there. So we do, that's why the had a nice design to it. Probably just a little bit too pointy upwards. See, we're almost done. Uh, Everything else, I'm not going to worry about. There's, all the riggings and stuff like that, the lines and stuff. Those guys are, this is hard enough to paint around what we got here. That's why I'm kind of pulling the paint off here a little bit more than it should. Got a little bit more carried away with putting it on with the brush. But you see that there's not a whole lot here. So we get the time, all that extra time to play with it. Like I'm not worrying about any posts. There is a building right back in here. There's a little building that runs on. I guess must be a dock. There's something that runs around here somewhere. Oh, it's probably right here. Dock runs right in here. You can't see it because of all the stuff. That's the thing. It's a lot of stuff. You don't have to do too much to make it something. All right. Well, what we're going to do is start off with our blues and purples and try to get the, this thing settled a little bit. I think this, it's going to be a little too basketball-y. All right. I'm going to go with my purple and blue. I'm going to go on the blue side first, of course, because I want to just start to get this shape in here a little bit. I'm going to work on a little darker on the outside of the shape, the boat shape, and then thin it out, thin the color down. For the coloring.
Sorry, so which color are you using now?
I'm starting off with blue and alizarin, the very first color.
The first one?
Yeah, the first ones, but it's on the blue side. On the blue side. On the blue side. And you can see we go on the red side, we do the other boat. And it's more red anyway, this thing here. It's gonna be hard to get that blue out of here. Well, that's gonna be a little lighter, it's gonna be blue. I'm gonna change it to red. I'm not gonna do the bottom part. All right, since I have those colors on my thing, is it's kind of a blue thing. Before I go to my other things, I'm gonna just wipe these colors off a little bit in this sky here. And bring it down a little bit and just get the color on my brush. You know, if you wanted to, you might even go throw it in the shadows a little bit. Just so now I'm just going to go. I'm going to go down. I'm going to get the color for the sky and start putting that in now. It's a little, usually skies, it's usually at the end you put them in. This one, it's just all sky. So I'm going to start it out. And this is just a blue and has a little bit of phthalo in it, right? As you can see, but it's going into some alizarin here. So I'm just going to basically keep it light and just run it down here a little bit till it runs out of my brush, and then switch down to the alizarin, a little more alizarin to it, blue purple, and then work it, come back, and so that's right where it should be right there. Now I can lighten it. Now I can take that down for a while. That's going to be pretty much the color for a third of this size going down. Except for it's a little lighter. Give this gradation back up here and just lighten this original colors up just a little bit and have some room to get a gradation. So it is still darker up there. Then over here, I'm just going to go a little bit brighter as I get closer to the left side of the painting. So just a hair more blue, a little more white. Then when I get down here to the bottom of the boat, edge of the boat here, I'm just gonna be able to be done with that. I might have to I'm gonna lighten up that area a little bit with the next color, which would be the phthalo green and blue on the green side with a lot of white. See that and bring it up a little bit. Let's see how that happens. Yellow, white. Dang, we're almost done. You guys thought this was hard? Who was that?
So far, mine looks like a child is painting. Of
Oh,
course, children could be great. So
that work. It'll work. I tell you, a lot of times whenever I'm even painting a dog, it feels the same way. It feels like you know, what are you doing? This doesn't look right. And then all of a sudden it does, Anyway. Even a little bit darker between the two boats, I would say too, than even back in here. Uh, it's one of those areas whenever you get too into these airtight areas like this, it basically becomes sky holes, like in trees where the leaves and stuff. You have to have it watch the contrast for it doesn't overtake it too much, so you don't pop out. So even little areas like that, sometimes you have to tone them down, keep them toned down. Um, there we go. Definitely this color. I'm sure it's going to end up being in, these shadow areas too. I would say this front boat being a little warmer and stuff like that. I'm sure it could use some of this color. Just running it on my brush, basically. Uh, but even with that, I might as well. I'm going to paint the water too now. It's going to be a little darker back in behind here. Oh yeah, I tipped that boat up way too high. There's the water down here. That boat should be this way. Oh well, pick it up. So the blue's in the background, and then warms up as it comes towards us. Almost just like everything else, a little more, just that lighter phthalo green and blue mix till you get to the shore almost. And then there's just that little hint of yellow in the water. We'll see. See if I can fix it or not. Like I said, just a hint of yellow white. Well, this isn't yellow white. This is really some of the yellow I made up for. And one of the things too is don't be too perfect. Make some, break it up a little bit. This water, so it doesn't just sit there in one shape, so simple shape. Take the basic shape but break it up a little bit. See if you can put a brush stroke in there, an interesting brush stroke in there, things like that. Lots to do, lots to do. All right, we still got blue on the brush. That's great. Let's start with the blue on this guy. So this color is blue and a little bit of phthalo with no white. And it's going to come in here in the middle of this area where I kind of left everything. I wanted to get the richness in the middle of the paint here, and then work it on out a little bit, work it into the shadows a little bit to the sides, creating a shape, rounder shape. Back in here, we got some warmth going to be coming in. Don't worry about the little like design things, arrow. I mean, any of that stuff yet. Okay. Just soften the blue back in a little bit more. Back into the top part here. And it's not perfect. There's still some good streaks in there going in. The back end of the boat has some warmth in it. It's catching a little bit of warm sun. I don't want to go too light with it, but I don't want to go too green. Let me see what I'm going to mix a little bit of this. This is that oxide red and transparent oxide red and cad yellow mix all the way down to white. Not all the way to white, but it has a yellow tinge to it. That's what I was thinking I was going to try back here. I kept it kind of dark, but now I'm going to see about bringing it back, just a touch of it, and then work it in. Work it in a little bit, see if that will work. As this looks like it might have to have a touch more red to it, but I'm going to go with this for now. And then we can just always, we're going to have a lot of red on the brush. And I can come back in and put it in. But I want to keep this kind of clean, but that way I can come in and every stroke, you know, I make after a while will mean a little bit more in this area. Put the blue in first, and then I'm going to gray it back, just like I did there. Definitely need to pop that out a little bit. That's going to be the right color, just a value when it gets mixed right. So I'm going to start it back there and just drag it across here. Got really that long. Probably have to come up here a little bit higher on the boat. Okay. So that's our first colors, a few first of the colors. I'm going to go to now some of the other darker ones. This is going to be blue and oxide red light. And this is on the blue side. You know, I think down in here, there's a few spots here, some boxes right here, that wooden boxes and crates and stuff this boat is sitting on. For some dark things. And underneath these guys a little bit. Got a nice shadow. And then you got this pile of stuff over here. Definitely feels good in that warm red, kind of a reddish color there. I'm gonna also thin this down a little bit. I'm gonna paint the back front of this bottom or top of this boat here with it. I don't know, you know, not looking very close at it, right? So details, I'm not going to dive into details yet, but this can get to get me to this area here where I can start filling it in real quick. Do any more of that? Oh, yeah, there are a few other things here. You know, there's this is again blue and oxide going in. I'm just gonna run my brush just like I did with everything else. Just run the brush out down in here. I don't, I don't feel there's a whole lot of importance in the boxes themselves in here. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna make squares, but other than that, I would say, there's don't spend much time on them. Don't worry about the perspective. They're gonna be more of a just gesture type of mark. Next colors. Oh, I'm to the oxides in blue, transparent oxide in blue. I was thinking that across the lake, across the thing there, that this color might work. Might be just a hair dark. I might have to put a little bit of sky into this color, but I'm just going to use it here. This is on the blue side of it. So yeah, but it's just, this brown is just kind of jumping a little bit back over there. So that's why I was saying put some sky into it just to bring it down.
Which pile did you grab from for that, Jim? Sorry.
Yeah, I used oxide blue and I mean transparent oxide and blue.
Thanks.
It is dark, but I'm catching a little bit of the water, so it's kind of just softening at the edge there and dulling the color a little bit, but it might have to be done a little bit more, and I probably need to get in front of this thing to make sure I see everything. But little things, it's going to be in like a lot of little pieces of wood and things that are you see here sometimes laying on the ground stuff. You'll see it in that color. All right. I'm going to clean my brush one more time. I'm going to put this red, the dark red in here. Start this bottom of the boat here. I did go with I'm taking just a little bit farther. Now I'm going to work the CAD red. I made up a version of this and said where I just took that color and added CAD red to it. Definitely want to get it right on this front edge really good and strong. Then when it mixes, come back to the back edge and pull it down a little bit. Now I can come back up to the top. Just work it in a little bit on the outside sunny edge. Oh, got a hair light. So there you go. Got your boats in. Yeah, we don't get the highlights in or any of that stuff, but got the good basics. It's nice with this big brush too. I must say, this thing, when you get a new one, it's sharp as that ever, and it's really nice to be able to just make a nice line. Now, that's your darks. That's all your really darks. Everything else is midtones. Well, I mean, we already painted the sky. That was like 3/4 of work, right? All right. I'm going to come back in. This is purple. This is alizarin and blue and white. This is putting into this shadow here. A little bit dark. That one's the wrong one. Gotta go lighter one. I knew I could lighten it up, but didn't want to go too much right away. I wanted to get some of the dark into that shadow. The same over here too. So that's just alizarin and blue with just white. Probably, I think this is like right at 6. Yeah, probably end up getting it in up here a little bit too. Who knows? Uh, See, I always see these little teeny colors. I just love them. Love them. All right, the next color. I'm just going to put in finish putting in this ground here. And then it's going to start feeling a little bit better. This is oxide red and blue. It's on the blue side with white to, again, I think it's about a 7 we were talking about. And it just goes on the ground in here. Everywhere I pretty much didn't put the shadow. Might even go a little bit pinkier, closer to the sun over here. So I might come back and warm it up. But yeah, this is kind of almost like a gray. It's really close to a gray, which is a little cool. Even with that oxide red in there, I'm just not trying to cover it all up too. Just trying to keep a little bit of that warmth kind of showing through. Okay. Got the big stuff in. It was the big stuff. Really was. You know? Everything else is the big, little easy stuff. And then back, this is some of the blue from that boat, the top boat. And back in this underneath, I'm not sure what that thing is. Or just ladders or something, or laying here. I got to dig deeper to see what they are. That would help probably, designing it out, knowing what it is. So, but I don't right now. All right, let's finish the block in. Since we're right there, I'm going to paint the back of this boat with that orange. I kind of made up that kind of a using this red and stuff here. Kind of made up a orangey color here for the back end of the boat. And if it needs yellow, it's an easy add. So just getting the base color in. Definitely going to go warmer on the back end. You don't want straight. Gonna work a little yellow back into this color back in here. Yellow, white. Basically the sunset color, the color we have back in here. This needs to go be stronger too yet. But that's what I was going to use. Just in the back here, just to warm it up. Might add just a little bit of cat orange, more orange to it. Right here at the bottom section here. Needs feels a little warmth, more warmth. I'm going to use that over here on this guy too a little bit. I mean, this guy's barely gets any anyway, so right to there. He's all light shadow anyway. So I'm going to put his shadow in. And I use that purple I kind of made in, just took that base color and added white to it, or I added blue to it. This might need to be warmed up, but it's a good tone for it. Yes, a little bluer. I'm going to put this in, but now I'm looking at this color. I think it's too blue. I think it's going to have to go a little more red. So to start with it here. See if it's warm or cool. What's the shadow? It's usually the warm light, cool shadow. So that would mean alizarin would be the color in here. That might even feel warm. So I also have a few other grayed out colors here. Let's see what this does. This is, yeah, it feels better. This is oxide red, and basically it's the color I use down in here in the ground. Probably could go a little lighter too. So that's oxide red and blue, but it's on the blue side basically. And that's going in here. It's a little more red to me even than that. Now, I just step away for a second and take another look. I can say, yeah, maybe it should be on the red side. It's a little bit of both because it's kind of red on the shadow on this boat. It's a little redder on the outside of the shape, and then cooler in the middle of it. Okay. Just work it soften the edges a little bit on that. Now the cool thing, what I'd want to do is when I get to making, really have to make strong decisions, start off with the ones I know I'm going to write. Like do things on the outside of the boat, a little bit of warmth and stuff. I can tell that that's really warm. That has some, could almost be just straight cad red light. Maybe a little cad orange into it. Let me just align my thing here. This is what I was talking about, especially when you start putting in the rigging and all that stuff. You want to put it in with, some colors, because if you put it in flat, that makes the whole painting go flat. So this is just a little cad red. This is what I was just going to run on the top line here of this boat here to the shadow. Pretty much on both of them, I saw it. Right in here, just that really warm color, warm red to the front, and then a little bit darker. This one goes a little bit darker around the back edge. Okay. Little things I forgot. Forgot to put in and put in windows and things like that, See how dark I had to put it in because I got to put all this light around it. Also, I've been putting take the rigging out. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if it's rigging, but where this take these guys are going to run just a little cockeyed, so here. When I get to things like this, when I need a big straight line, get something to work off of. Yeah. Things are marked out already. See, I just gotta you gotta put it in aggressively, like you know, so you don't have to make too many more mistakes here. I mean, there are a couple little areas. Shoot, I forgot about. There's this one back in here going across. I think it's going to fall farther back on me.
I like your little device.
It's a nice squeegee. It's just a squeegee, cheap, couple dollar squeegee. But it has that rubber tip to it,
Uh-huh.
and it just is great for making marks like this. It'll be almost perfect for making other marks too.
Have to look in the house. Most probably I have something like this.
I'm sure you do. Come on, you got all these, medical tools should be using up, right?
That's at work, not here.
Oh, okay. Well, most of my stuff I get at the dollar store. I get the baby oil there. I get these things there. I get pretty much, a lot of little stuff you can get there that works out pretty well for this. So, all the rigging and stuff. That's the stuff that going to take the longest. Is getting all that stuff in. Yeah. And then, like I was saying, putting in the junk and stuff, we'll get that in. That's easy stuff. You just got to have everything painted right here behind it. That's all you got to do. Like I said, I'm just going to put just a little bit of blue over this stuff back in here. This went just it's just warm. I knew it was going to be warm. But, I made the color up and I wanted to use it for something. And like I said, some of these got some boats back in here too. They could definitely be that color. Just a little bit of blue, more blue on the side into that brown. Grays it out, makes a nice gray. It'll stand out. It's a little bit warm, but the water's kind of cool, so yeah, there's a little bit more stuff right in here too. I didn't dive into. All right. I tried to get most of that stuff yellow out of there, but let's see if I did, how well it goes. It's gonna, so I'm gonna start off with a nice clean brush. And I'm gonna this is gonna be on the red, a little bit more oxide side. I'm gonna go with a little bit more of the orangey yellow-ish to it. And I'll come back with a little bit lighter. Since I'm going over another color, I'm just gonna, you got to put it in like you mean it, kind of a little thick. or the paint would just not make it. And also, just a hair, dip your brush in oil before you grab your paint. When you grab it, and you can get it in there nice and clean like that. Get the bottom stroke and then do the top strokes. You don't want it to feel like you did it in one stroke like I did. So you got to break it up a little bit so it doesn't feel so bad, so much like you did. Going with a little more yellow in my color now for this front one. I can come back with just a little more red into it. Yeah, it might be just a hair dark there. So I'm going to use this yellow, just a little more yellow white-ish. Dirt that up. See if this works. I'm putting a little bit of yellow into that shadow color. The shadow color I did here, just put a little yellow, that yellow into it. Warm it up. I didn't know if it would make a difference. I was hoping it was going to make a little bit more difference than that. No, that's not it. Now it's phthalo, but I just tried to stay away from it. Yeah, I could feel it. There's a little warmth there. But then it goes to a little pinkish. This is the highlight color I use down in here for this boat here. Doesn't look so bad now. It just feels like it's better. Sometimes you just got to be thicker. Sometimes you just got to put it on a little thicker. Think of just a little bit of yellow into it. I can start to get this back edge. This is the yellow white, in fact, I'm putting in now. I'm going to put it in both places too. So that's the yellow white. And just, look for the strokes. There's a vertical, this, and then there's the down one. If we left some paint on it, it would have been good. That would have been fun. Just push too hard. Okay. Now back over here. Let's see what happens over here. Now I put, this is a pink. This is a white pink, basically. Gonna put it right in the middle of these yellow spots. Mostly there. I don't think I have to do too much of it over here. And just a touch of blue right in the middle. That's it. Rigging is nothing more than a little bit of sky with a little bit of yellow white in it. And then the highlight. If this is just a touch of orange to it. Orange is not a pure white. Shouldn't have been that thick though either. I should have got a little heavy, my brush. Oh well. I forgot to do the rigging on the other side. I'm just going to go with some purple, blue, and alizarin for most of this, and I'll come back with a little bit of warmth over top of it. A little oxide in blue on top of it. For the using oxide, transparent oxide and blue uh, on that one. This one I'm going to go a little redder, going to the red side of it. I'm just going to put the highlights on this cloth here. I just got to go back and put the darks back in into these sails a little bit more. Finding the little. This is sort of like painting the horns on that beast we painted last week. Finding these little teeny small little details to put a dot in, and trying to not overdo it. Not touch the sky, not touch the sky. So all these, and then if hopefully this not going to be too bright or work. I'm going to use basically this color here, this yellow, what I made for the boat highlight, white and stuff to, come down and paint the highlights on the masts going up. Right at the end. Yeah, always the last thing is always putting in the details. I'm not going to put in any of the lines. It's just that's going to be too hard to do right off the bat. But I will, we'll get to let's get to the putting in some of the stuff underneath there to dress it up a little bit for you. There's possibilities here, I'm gonna this is pure cad red going into this area here. I just want to put it in and then rub it in a little bit. Just wasn't getting the richness I wanted. I'll just start making sort of where I want the marks to be for these things. Got one there, one underneath, another one over here. One finally at the back. Holding these things up, Okay. Wow, 9:12. Okay, I'm putting in the stuff. We'll see what you guys are doing. all the hair riggings and stuff. It's gonna take a little while. But most of the stuff, you guys have seen me do this before, so it's not gonna be a big deal. But definitely want to use my purples up here, my blue and alizarin straight out of the thing, and use those guys. Get my lines with that, and I can just keep going with those. These guys should be pretty parallel, looks like. I think right now they're just starting off pretty thin, so that's great. Because then only sticking them up. Sometimes they get globs on them. But like that, that's fine. Might go to the more purple side here. There'll be a lot more stuff going on. But most of the stuff at the end like this is you're always going to be done with it. I like doing it with the knife. It's like one of the great ways to get a dark back end sometimes when you can't do it with a brush. The only way you can do it was with real paint, a lot of paint. So okay, so that's pretty much how I'll be doing this. Is just take my time and going around. That's the thing, is you gotta take your time a little bit. You can't rush this, because we didn't rush anything else. That one really went in heavy. That one went in heavy too. Wow. Grabbed a little bit more paint than I thought. That's what I was thinking about. There you go. It feels better anyway. For these other things that are holding it up. Going with brown. Great way to just touch them, put them in with the knife, and then just hit them with a brush, and you'll thicken them up. Except for that one, you won't touch that one. I don't know what I just did. Everything else, that's about it. That's what I'll be doing to finish it up. Putting in the rest of these guys, but I got to get in front of it a little bit too. Everything else is just, I'll be putting in these little things too, just by running lines like that. These guys up there are going to be a little tougher, to do. I'm thinking, just barely putting them in. Okay, I'll bring you down. You can sort of see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the color really clean. because it's going to get dirty. I mean, it gets dirty on its own, but keeping these guys really clean like this, and then when you put in your brush strokes, your little subtle things, they'll stand out really well if you keep your painting pretty clean like that. Okay. There we go. There we go. Bring it back up. Okay. Well, I have Eva and Lisa, and I think Sharon. I'm not sure if he painted or not, but one of you two. We got plenty of time. Eva's ready.
Well,
Eva,
it is what it is.
it is what it is so far. You'll fix it. I love your ram back there.
You
Ram.
do?
Yeah, it's
Well,
good.
It's scraped. I
You
still have
scraped
to
it?
work. This is just I scraped like 5 times. Except the head. But anyway, let's see the boat.
That's all that does is create a lot of good texture. That wool was a lot of that stuff. So that's okay. More scraping, don't lose it all. Use it. Here we come, big boats.
Nice.
Wow, what size? 16 by 20?
Yeah.
Good size. That's beautiful. Congrats. You really put
Really?
you put the paint in very clean. It's got you got a lot of complexities yet to come. You got the really good start on it, really good basics. You know where you're going. I when you get the stuff it's the mood you'll catch when you start putting in the stuff at the bottom, that schmutz stuff, at the bottom of the painting. When you get that stuff in, then it just starts to take a life. Right now, it looks really great. I think clean. That's what I was trying to do, is keep it very clean. And that way you can keep everything else will look a little dirtier towards it. So I think you're doing great.
Well, thank you. I think it looks a little bit better on the computer than in real life.
I think your lines are working great. I don't know. You got really good straight lines there.
Thank you.
All right. Lisa,
Yes.
that's what you do. Did you finish it?
We'd have to hide my little brushes. No, and then I don't. It looks like a cartoon.
It does, doesn't it? It's supposed to look very cartoony, but then just by softening a few lines here and there and adding just a few, brush strokes that go maybe against the grain a little bit, the thing will come to life. That's the way boats are. Boats are very sleek and very clean. Basically painting white. You're finding color, trying to find color in white. And so I think, you're fine. You're fine. I think your drawing's fabulous again. And
Boat's too big in front, but that's okay. I'm not changing it.
Yeah, I'm not changing it anyway either. No, not me. I think it's fine. I think that no one will know. No one will know.
Okay.
That looks great. I think it's a really good start too. I think, you're just at the point where you start to finesse it. You start to have some fun in these shapes, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Then when you get that, together, the thing just falls. This should be like meat on the bone. It should just fall off. You
Okay.
should be done. You're on your way.
All right. Thanks.
It's a great blocking, though. Congrats.
Thank you.
Okay. I think that's it. Guys, I lost everybody. No one wanted to paint this today. I do appreciate you guys showing up for it. I will finish this up. You guys finish yours up, and we'll try to get the other guys excited about it, saying, "Oh, that's a fun painting." It's simple, but it has a lot of nice angles to it, and it's a fun design. So anyway, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. We'll see. Next week, what are you guys interested in? Since it's just you two.
Since this were your easy one, let's do something difficult.
Yeah.
We only got 2 classes left, so we're gonna do one really difficult, then I'll ease off, give you an easy one. Okay. We'll do some people ones. We'll do
No, I was joking.
She's
Oh.
joking.
I was joking.
Too bad. You don't joke with me, you know that.
I'm afraid so.
We'll find something. Hey, we already painted a person anyway. We started off with painting Jill,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You did a great job on yours, Lisa, and stuff. That was fabulous.
I like it.
Yeah. So we'll drop them off to Jill when we go next year, and she can have them on her wall all together, right?
Yeah, the whole bunch of them.
Anyway, I think that's it. I'll it won't be quite that hard, okay? I'll take it easy on you, Eva. All right.
Please.
What
Yeah,
about
yeah.
did we do a still life at all?
Becky took a wonderful still life.
Well, let's do it.
If you want to do a still life, we could do a still life, and then I'll look. We'll see what we have. It can't be what you guys painted in that garden. I was
Brett.
I'm not
Okay.
sure I could get that one done.
Well, that was mean because Becky put in all the metal. She's mean.
I know.
She's like you. Oh, it's easy.
It is easy, but then it takes time. I can see it. That's the thing is you see it, but then it still takes time to do it. So just you get there quick, but not quite as quick as you need to. So okay, I'll look for something like that. Okay, good idea.
Okay.
All right. You guys have a good week and all, and we'll see you on next week.
All righty. Good night.
Good
Okay.
night.
Night.